Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing readings about what you have to work with, basically. When I drew my rune for what we were going to do this about, I drew Ingvaz, which is active creation, and it's about using what you have to control what you can. So what do you have to work with? Today's readings are basically whatever you need to know the most right now, but sort of in reference to what you have to work with and how this is going to help you. So we have 4 cards from the Dreamer's Journal Tarot. Feel into the cards. One or more of them has a message for you about what you have to work with on what you're working on. And I'm going to be using a gray clay set, which is one of the Blum sets, or Bloom. I don't know how he likes his name pronounced. And it's just basically Elder Futhark. And I will be reading these, so feel into the cards. One or more of them will have a reading for you about what you're working with now. We have card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, and card number 4. I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello, card number 1, people. So let's start by turning this card and seeing what you have to work with right now, with what you're dealing with. And we have the 7 of Swords. So I'm going to read this more like Fox, where it's... You're using your skills and your cunning to do what you need to do. It's not necessarily stealing or making off with things, but this is sort of like, because this is what you have to work with, you have certain skills where you are doing this in a defensive kind of way, where you are stealing the swords before they can be used. So it's good. So let me just get some runes down to clarify this. I'm going to lay down the entire reading and then we're going to go from there. These are bigger runes than I've been using in a while. Like last week I was using the tiniest runes I have. Okay, card number 1, people. What do we need to know about what you have to work with, dealing with what you have? Yeah, because you really do need to support yourself right now, which is important. You need to be able to stand up for yourself. Down the reading. Yes, you hear a lot of shuffling of the runes because I'm just like trying to find the rune that needs to come up. They're making me work for it. One people. There's Ingvaz. That's the one that came up when I asked what I should be reading about today. So at least that's their helping. Do we want to do another row? I think let's do the 3 middle steps and then the leading up and the cat hair and then okay. Okay, central issue here is Algi's reversed. Algi's is the rune of the elk. Elk is another, well, it's the moose, but we call it the elk because over there is the elk. It's protection and support reversed. It has to do with protecting and supporting yourself. So it's your own. So you are watching out for yourself, and this is something you're able to do. You have that with which to work, that you're able to look out for yourself and make sure that you are clearing away the swords before they can be used against you, kind of thing. Leading up to this, there has been a lot of things have been stubborn. Like there's been stubborn problems that you've been dealing with. And it's to the point where this is why you're sneaking onto the field and stealing the swords, because you just don't want to have to worry about it. And so it's like, okay, this is obviously a stubborn issue that you've been dealing with. Why don't we now just basically take it into our hands? Like, I know what I need and I am going to take care of that. I am going to do what I know I need to do to make sure that I am safe and taking care of myself. You know, be the wily little fox, you know, be smart and be clever and be able to take care of yourself in that way. Stand up and do that. What is going to help you is we have Kaunaz, which is the rune of the torch or the fire. So it's something that starts small like an ember and goes into a blaze. I'm seeing this really as make sure that you've expanded your focus. It's not just on the one thing. You want to make sure that your focus is expanded and you're getting a good overview of the things that are going on. And that's going to help you really know where best to be and what best to do in these things that you're doing to make sure that you are supporting yourself and protecting yourself. What isn't going to help is we have Fehu reversed. Fehu's the rune of wealth and worth. You may have a little bit of worries about your worth, that maybe you're not feeling as worthy as you would like to. Maybe you're a little bit lacking in confidence in some things. Like you can do this as long as you're like, I'm just going to do it. But if you let yourself think about it, you might start to get dragged down into, but who am I to even dare? I'll tell you who you are to dare. You're you. You need to dare. Go and dare and do the things. Be a daring little fox on the battlefield, and make sure that you're getting those swords away from the people who would use them against you when they're not looking. So definitely good. You are worthy. Don't ever discount yourself or doubt that you are. Bring yourself back up to where you are, keeping a good overview on things that are going on, and that will help you support yourself in this situation. Your next step is actually that you are going to feel, now that you're doing this kind of thing, you're going to feel more comfortable as who you are in the world. This is Manaz, it's the rune of humanity and your part in it. And you're going to see that you would actually have now taken a part in your own life kind of thing. Like you are now actively taking steps in your own life to be, you're not letting other people decide. You are taking that. And so you feel like you've moved up into that, I want to say pantheon of, but it's humanity. So it's you've just basically stepped into your place of belonging, not like you belong or where your place, but like where you want to be, your place where you are able to sing your note in the song and see that it is essential. So what is going to help you here is exactly what all these readings are about, which is Ingvaz, which is active creation, and using what you have to control what you can or to just create what you can. So you are very active. I mean, this was your step. Like these were these steps that you were taking where you are becoming active in your own life and shaping your own life. And as long as you continue with that, you are going to feel very strongly that you are in the right place for you. You have become yourself. You have stepped into who you are. And as long as you are actively a part of creating what's surrounding you and your reality around you, this is going to continue. You're going to feel really good. That's going to be you're basically the heart of the situation is going to be that. This is your central issue right now, but shortly after that, we come into this one. What isn't going to help is we have Gebo. Gebo's the rune of the gift. The gift always has to do with an exchange, but it's basically agreements, decisions, plans, and goals. In that it has to do with an exchange. There may have been agreements and obligations that you may feel still as though you might have to honor, but that are no longer something that would honor you and what you need in the world. And so you may feel these tugging at you, or one person or other single people at you may be saying, oh, but you need to do this. And if it's no longer in your best interest to do that, try not to let yourself get influenced by that. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Things have changed now, and I am working on making sure that my life is good and it's my life. So unfortunately, if these agreements that you had before don't serve you anymore and never served you especially, then it's basically what will help you with worrying about this is to just basically step back into where you are serving yourself, where you're basically saying, I mean, not in a selfish way, but in a, this is my life kind of way. And if I don't do this, nobody will. And I deserve to live my life and be me. So this is basically where it is. Like if you start to feel yourself dragged down to that, bring yourself back up to here. If you start to feel unworthy of the role that you're stepping into, bring yourself back up to where you are keeping a good overview on things. And this is what's helping you stand up for yourself and be who you are. And once again, if you are worried about any previous obligations you may have agreed to under other circumstances, bring yourself back that don't serve you anymore. Bring yourself back up to where you are working in your own best interest. What is going to help? What your next step is going to be is you're really going to be rebirthing yourself. You're going to it's going to be a new beginning for you. What's going to be Berkana, birth, beginnings, and birch tree. What is going to help you at that point is just to be open. Like let yourself be open to what is presenting itself. You've already shown yourself to be able to be wily enough to take advantage of the things that present themselves to you. And so this is going to be more of that. There is also an implication with the blank rune that you are connecting with whatever the divine is for you, whatever the sense of the divine is for you. So you're sort of connecting with that aspect of things while you stay open to whatever may present itself. What isn't going to help you is we have, when you're reversed, you may be worried about unhappiness. You may be worried, yeah, but what if I do this and I'm not happy? Things have been working out pretty good for you since you've been doing it, so I probably wouldn't worry about that much, and just basically putting yourself in the hands of what you consider to be the divine, plus staying open, will keep you feeling pretty much confident in what you're doing, and as you birth yourself, as you create your new you. The outcome of this spread is Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. It has to do with, I usually, I'll read it as chaos and things that are out of your control, but there is also a read of it, which I'm going to use in this case, which is nature, natural forces, natural energies, and a reminder that you are also a natural force, that you are also a force of nature. And really that you can take on the things that are going to come at you if you see them as weather. It's basically, maybe there will be some scary things that come at you, but see them as the temporary weather that they are. They will come in, they may, buffet you about a bit, but then they're going to blow away. And you will remain the force of nature that you are. So that, card number 1, people, is your reading for what you have to work with and what you need to know right now. So I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2, people. So we're going to start with turning this card from the Dreamer's Journal Tarot and see what you have to work with. And we have the Knight of Wands. So you are very actively riding forward and expressing your will in the world. So you are able to do that. That is something that you feel comfortable and confident doing, that you are able to express your will in the world. And that's one of the things that you have to work with as you move forward. So let's get some runes down and clarify. This is definitely a powerful skill to have, to be able to go out and do that. So I'm going to lay down the entire reading first. Just trying to focus on these runes. Have been a little bit stubborn today in that they want the right one to come through. So I'm just kind of really letting them come in. So you're going to hear a lot of rune shuffling. There we go. So I'm going to lay down the entire reading to start with, and then we're going to go from here. How are you? I'm doing okay. Getting on with things where I am. It's January. We just had a blizzard. I'm in Toronto, so... That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have a blizzard. In fact, our winters are very mild, but we just happened to have one yesterday. The wind was so crazy. Oh my gosh. It was crazy wind. It was like crazy wind. Like it would be like a big gust happening, and then it would increase and it wouldn't stop. And it would be like, whoa, stop, man. It kept going. And then suddenly we looked outside and it was like blizzard. So that was fun. Thankfully, just safe inside. We kept power. Everything was good. Okay, central issue for the Knight of Wands, people. We have Ira, which is the rune of the harvest, and also time. So your central issue right now is basically you are very aware that you're in a season of time in which you can use this. Like you really have this strong feeling of right now is the time that we do this. This is the season. So you are basically using... You're basically taking advantage of the time. You are harvesting. You're basically getting the fruits of your labors from what you've been working on, which you have been working on for some time, which I'm going to get to. And you're basically recognizing that this is a very finite block of time in which to work. Leading up to this, we have Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. This has to do with patience, slow growth, slow development, step by step. You have been working on this for quite some time. And it's good. And you've reached this point where all of this work is now paying off and you are harvesting it. And this is what you're going to be using, where you're basically taking this and you're basically seeing the fruits of your labors, which probably involved this, but will continue with this as you move forward. What is definitely going to help you is we have Avaz, which is the horse. The horse has to do with movement and also spirit. It is reversed on the upper line. So I am seeing this as, because this is now the finite period of time in which you have to do this harvest, it's really, don't rush ahead on this. Don't run ahead. It's reversed on the upper line, which is helping you. So you might want to just rush ahead to the next thing, but this is the time right in this moment where you want to focus on this, on bringing this harvest through. So keep yourself from running around, keep yourself focused in place. If you want to run around, you can run around internally. You can do a lot of running around in your inner worlds. But as far as bringing things through go, then this is what you want to be doing so that you can be ready to pick up and express with it. But right now you are harvesting the fruits of your labors. What won't help is we have Kaunaz reversed. Kaunaz is the rune of the torch, also the fire. It's something that starts small like an ember and goes into a blaze. It is reversed on the lower line. So I think what I'm seeing here is a worry that your options have narrowed. Because you know how it is when you have one thing that you have to do. One thing. It's the one thing you have to do. Sometimes you feel like I have no options and I'm bored and I want to do other things. And it's like, this is, if I have this thing that I have to do, then I go and do everything else but it because I don't want to feel locked in. And so that's sort of where, if anything's going to drag you down in this moment, it's going to be that, like this feeling like, I know I have to do the laundry. But that's like, and then you go and like you do dishes and you do like, you watch a movie and then you do like everything but the laundry. Do the laundry, get it done. That's where you're basically at. So it's this situation where you may feel like your options are narrowed and this may make you panic and you want to do other things just to prove yourself that you can. But this is going to drag you down because you have this finite period of time in which to do this harvest and you need to get this harvest in. So calm yourself, hold your horses and do it. And that's what's going to help you the most in this moment. Your next step is you are making your next plans because this is, as I said, this is just a finite period of time. So you are now, once this is over, your next step is to make new plans. We have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. This has to do with not harvest. I'm looking at the harvest. This has to do with agreements, decisions, plans, and goals. It's always an exchange. So it may have to do with a one-on-one relationship also, or interaction, but really it's usually an agreement, decision, plan, or goal made with yourself. So it's basically at this point, once you get your harvest in, you now have, your will that you wish to express, and you're going to be like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to do this? And you're going to set some plans. What's going to help you with that is this is when you want to listen to your inner voice. We have Ansu's reversed, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. It is reversed on the upper line, so it's inner. So we're going to basically make sure that you invite your inner voice to this discussion and any internal, guides, guardians, helpers, friends, etc. You are also going to be listening and also letting yourself listen and be a bit silent on the outside because you need to tune into that. So it's going to be you and your inner voices, such as they are. Hopefully the good ones, if there are not good ones. No, definitely your inner voice, your inner, you know what I'm talking about. Please forgive me. I'm riffing. So basically, you basically want to tune into your helping guides and spirits, as well as your helping inner voices, not the ones that tell you to jump through the drive-through window. Oh my gosh, that guy. Have you seen those videos? Oh my gosh. But somebody threw like a drink at him, so that was cool. Anyway, I digress. So tune into that. That's going to help you make your plans. The healthy, healing ones, not the ones that tell you to jump through a drive-through window. So what isn't going to help you is we have Tivaz, which is the rune of Tyr. Tyr is the warrior god. And so I'm going to read this as, you want to get on with things. And you've always wanted to get on with things. Card number 2, people. As you can tell from this knight, you have a knight in your reading. And the knight wants to ride ahead and do things. And if the knight rides ahead without planning, in this case, it's not going to help. So it's going to be one of those situations where, okay, we got the harvest in. Part of you is going to want to rush for, ride forward and just no, I just want to keep going and do things. But if you don't plan, it's not going to work as well for you. So make sure that if you start to feel like, I want to ride forward, bring yourself back up to is okay, let's quickly make a plan so we know where we're going to ride forward and have the best effect on things. And then that will help you. Your next step on the path line is the open road. We have just basically, okay, good. Now it's open. We see what adventures are in store. We have the blank runes. So it's just basically opening out, seeing what there is in the world that is new and an adventure and trackless. And there is also the read on the blank rune that you're going to connect with whatever the divine is for you. So that might be an option for some of you that will make things even better. What is going to help you at this point when you reach that point is basically you're going to stick to your plan, first of all, but it's like your plan plus what you have to work with. I'm really happy this showed up because this is the rune that is about all of these readings. This is the rune I pulled when I said, what are we going to do readings about today? And it's what you have to work with. So we have Ingvaz, which is active creation, working with what you have to control what you can or to create what you can. And it's basically you are going to be using your plan, but also in addition to that, you're going to be using your creativity and you're finally riding forward at this point into the out into the adventure world. So what isn't going to help you is you're worried about the unknown. Not the unknown. This is the unknown. You're worried about things that are out of your control. You're worried about chaos. You're worried about weather that might blow in and throw you off. We have Hagalaz, which is the hailstorm. So that might drag you down if you're worried about it, or even if you do encounter it. But even if you do, the antidote is always on the upper line. So, you're going to stick to your plan plus any creativity that you need to throw in to make it a really good mix. And you'll be able to go through this new trackless land. What is going to be the outcome of this is Nauthi's reversed. So Nauthi's reversed I usually read as an emergency. It's need. It's the need fire. So it's the rune of need. It always means tend your needs. When it's reversed, it means drop everything and tend your needs. But I am actually going to throw in an inner. Make sure that you're taking care of your inner needs in this. Like, make sure that you're not just thinking about your outer desires, but make sure that you're looking inward and also making sure that your needs that you have on the inside are being taken care of. At the same time, I am also going to read this in the capacity of being referencing a drop everything and tend this need. There may be something at this point which will become very apparent that needs to be done immediately. And you're a knight, so you're off to fix that. But you will become, once you won't become aware of it until you've been on the adventure path for a little while, but then suddenly this will become apparent. You'll be like, okay, exactly what I wrote out to do. This is the day that it needs to be saved, and I am going to do it by expressing my will in this particular way and being a knight to do that. So it's exciting. You're like riding off and doing that. So that is your reading card number 2, people. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 3, people. So we're going to start with this card from the Dreamer's Journal Tarot. I'm just checking a thing. Okay, Dreamer's Journal Tarot, and we're going to see what you have to work with as we move forward. Oh my gosh, you got the Tower. Yay! Tower is my favorite card. It is absolutely my favorite card in the tarot. Like, sometimes I will say it's one of them. It's my favorite. Why? Because the Tower needs to come down. It's like, people are like, oh no. It's like, you know what? Good. Because the Tower needs to come down. It needs to. It's something that it just has become unstable, and it's not sustainable. And as long as it's up, it's like drawing from everything. So it's like good. So what you have to work with is your capacity as catalyst, I'm going to say. So let's see how this is going to manifest by pulling some runes. I'm going to draw the entire reading and lay it out. And we're going to see what happens from oh, nice. I'm going to tell you why that's nice in a minute. So yeah, I'm going to put down the entire reading, and then we're going to go from there. That is the blank rune. Yes, and I am going to read that as stagnation this time. Cool. You get the Tower reading. No, seriously, I love it. Maybe that's because I have in my life had some very satisfying catalyst moments, but definitely love this card. Just a little bit more. How are you? You doing okay? I hope so. Oh, wow. You're not the only one who's had this as in this spot today, but it's kind of neat that it's shown up twice. Your central issue, Tower people, is Othala reversed. So Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland, and this has to do with chaos. Oh, no, it doesn't. This has to do with chaos. This has to do with it's the home and the homeland. So it's your sanctuary. It's things like that, solace. However, when it's reversed, it has to do with letting go of things that no longer serve you. And it has to do with finding home within, and it has to do with stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that's what this is all about. So it's really, really good. It's like this matches. Leading up to this, we have the blank rune. I'm going to read this as stagnation. It's kind of like things were in a misty kind of state where you couldn't really, there wasn't really any, I'm going to read it as stagnation. It's kind of like just, things were just kind of misty and foggy and just not clear. So we needed a moment of clarity, and the moment of clarity is like, let's clear the clutter, let's get rid of what is no longer serving us, and let the tower fall, if the tower needs to fall, which it always does. What is going to help you is, we have Pertho. Pertho is the rune of the lockbox. This has to do with surprises and fate, but the surprises that it has to do with is things that were always there. So what is going to help you at this point is watch for what is being revealed. As this is happening, as you are letting go of the things that no longer serve and the clutter is being cleared, suddenly things are going to start to be revealed that were always there and you didn't realize because of all the clutter and the mist. So now they are being revealed and you're seeing this, and it's really making things, it's waking things up for you. What isn't going to help is we have Uruz. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health usually, but also very much to do with stubbornness and things that are just like stuck and solid and just like not moving. And this is probably very, I mean, look at the same shape. This is probably, it's probably established, which is why it feels very, very stubborn. And it may be just like, because I've always seen it, I don't want to disrupt it. But you gotta, because tower needs to fall. So it's basically this tower, not real towers in the world, but the mythic tower. The mythic tower needs to fall. And so even if it's been there for a long time and established, you need, if it's something where it's unsustainable like this is, and it's just like drawing too much to try to keep it up, it's something where it's like, okay, but you know what? Yes, this is there, but this led to this. So we need to let go of what no longer serves us so that we can see what is being revealed and what is truly there and move forward from there and see our fate unfolding before us. What our next step is, and once again, I'm really happy. Ingvaz has shown up so far in all 3 of the readings I've done so far, so I'm really pleased about it. This is the rune that I drew when I first asked the runes what I was going to do today's reading about, so it's what we have to work with. So you have your catalyst ability to work with. And in the middle of this spread, we have Ingvaz, and Ingvaz is active creation. So it's working with what you have to create what you can and to control what you can and to basically create the reality around you that you need. And this is where you're at. As soon as you let go of the things that no longer serve and you start to see the things were being revealed that were always there but needed to be revealed because it was a surprise now, you're going to be like, okay, I can work with this. I'm going to work with this and I'm going to make this better than it was. What is going to help you is you are going to feel very confident and you're going to find your confidence in this. We have Fehu, which is the rune of wealth and worth. It's cattle, so it's the wealth that you tend. It's reversed, so it's inner. So it's your inner worth. It's your inner sense of richness and wealth. And through that, it's your confidence. So just, be confident with this. You did this and it immediately got results because you started to see what was being revealed. So now you're working with what you're seeing. Now you're working with what's coming through. And so be confident. This is going to help you take the steps you need to take to create what you need to create. What isn't going to help is we have Algiz reversed. Algiz is the rune of the elk. This has to do with protection and support. It is reversed on the lower line. So there are worries that you may feel, yeah, but who am I to do this? Maybe you don't feel as supported in what you're doing. Maybe you're the only one doing this, and that can make you sort of doubt sometimes. But if you start to doubt, just bring yourself back up to, it's like, no, I did this, and I'm already seeing good results for this, so I am confident, and I'm going to move forward and create what I can with what has appeared because we did this. Your next step on the path line is Ansuz, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. I am going to lean a little more on the manifestation side of it in this particular reading, although communication is definitely key, and it has to do with, expressing. You're going to be expressing yourself through creation, but through that, you're also going to be manifesting. So you're creating the reality around you using what you have. What is going to help you the most is actually to have a plan. Like, there is going to be some organic creation happening, but you definitely want to have, this is, but you definitely want to have a plan moving forward. We have agreements, decisions, plans, and goals. We have Gebo, which is a gift. The gift is always an exchange. So there may be one other person that you might be bouncing ideas off of possibly, but mostly it's going to be you. It's going to be you making your plans about this and saying, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to agree with myself to do while we do this? What might drag you down in that step is we have Sovilo. Sovilo is the rune of the sun, and this has to do with source energy. So you may feel that you're worried about. You might feel that you worry that you won't have the energy to go through with this. But again, if this is why you want to have a plan, because you want to make sure that you are conserving your energy to a certain extent where you're not going to be blowing it all at once while you're expressing. So if you start to worry about your energy levels, bring yourself back up to where you are, making sure that you have things planned out and that you are not just rushing ahead and just expressing to the point of burnout, because that won't help you. So your outcome in this spread is we have Hagalaz, which is the rune of not Haagen-Dazs, although we love Haagen-Dazs. It's the rune of the hailstorm, and this has to do with chaos and things that are out of your control sometimes, but I am going to read this more as you are also a force of nature. You are also, even if there's weather that comes in and that makes things feel like things are out of your control, you are also that. Just remember your path so far. You took this situation where things were stagnating and not moving forward and definitely not good and just basically unsustainable. And you overturned that. You basically said, no, this is not serving me. Off the table it goes. Things got revealed to you. You did the creating around you to make things more along the lines of what you wanted. And then you carried forward expressing with your expressing. And now you are facing where you're comfortable facing any storm at this point. Like whatever is going to come at you, you know that you're going to be able to get through it. Your confidence stands. So that card number 3, people, is your reading for what you have to work with. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 4, people. So let's start with turning this card from the Dreamer's Journal Tarot and see what you have to work with. And you have the 9 of Cups. Neat. Look at that. That's a really cool card. So it's the 9 of Cups is basically be careful what you wish for because you might get it. And it's a very happy sort of thing. It's like almost the 10 of Cups, but the 10 of Cups is like more than just completion. It's like completion and it going forward. So anyway, 9 of Cups, you have that to work with, is that you are able to look at what you've got and be satisfied. It's like that card in the White Light Oracle where it's like, you make your wishes, but it's about accepting when you get it. Oh, look at that. This is the second time in this session that the central issue was Yira, with completely different with different runes around it and completely different card. But I think it's really cool, and we're going to go forward with that. So I'm going to lay out the entire reading. Yira, which is the rune, of course, of harvest and time. There's Othala reversed again. We're getting a lot of cameos from the previous readings. I am mixing these. And there's Sofilo again in that spot. What's our outcome? What is our outcome? There we go. Oh, couldn't have a better outcome. Oh my gosh, card number 4 people. Card number 4 people. Look it. Okay, so your central issue for this reading on what you have to work with, which is basically being able to be satisfied and accept what you've wished for when it manifests. We have the harvest. We have Yira, which is the harvest and also time. So it's basically you are seeing the fruits of your labors. Your harvest, you're bringing in the fruits of your labors. You are using this block of time in which to do it. You recognize that this is the time, and you are appreciating it, and you're feeling abundant and in a state of abundance and plenty, and enjoying the time that we have in which to do that. Leading up to this, we have Kaunaz. Kaunaz is the rune of the torch, also the fire. So it's something that starts small like an ember and goes into a blaze, except in this case, it's reversed on the path line. So I'm going to read this a couple ways. First of all, you've been focused on this moment for a while. Maybe you've even manifested this moment. Like maybe this is something that has been a lot of work for you to manifest, and like you've been doing a lot almost every day to work on manifesting this. There's been a focus towards this. So when you get here, you're really happy and ready to appreciate it. So you've been working on that. The other way I'm going to read this is you've been honing your focus to the point where you feel like you're not even able to look at other things. Like this is basically you've narrowed your options to the point where you are just really, really hard focused on this, really, really focused on getting to this point where you can bring things through. So here you are in this moment. You are in the harvest moment. You're bringing things through. You're feeling in a state of abundance. You're feeling in a state of plenty, and accepting. You're accepting what you wished for as having manifested. What is going to help you is recognize that this is the flow of things. We have Laguz, which is the rune of the water. It's the lake. It's natural flow. It's emotion, intuition, and heart. It's all that kind of thing. So acknowledge your feelings. Acknowledge, let your heart lead you through this section, but also just see this as the flow. This rune, Logur in the younger Futhark, has to do. There's a line in the rune poem about riches flowing. It's riches flowing through. It's like you get riches from the water. And of course, this would be like fish as well as like precious things. But it's just sort of like the water holds the riches. So you're just basically in the flow of things. You're appreciating the riches that flow through. And so it's just basically real appreciation about it while letting your heart lead. What isn't going to help you is we have the blank rune. I'm seeing this very much as, worries about what you don't know that you don't know. Kind of like you're almost like wanting to not stay in the present moment, and you're sort of worried about, but that could drag you down. You really want to keep your focus in this moment, in this harvest moment where you're accepting and appreciating what's happened and what has manifested. Your next, and basically, just like flow with it. Your next step on the path line is we have Pertho reversed. I'm going to read this a couple ways as well. Pertho is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and also fate. When it's reversed, it usually has to do with inner. So you will have learned something. Well, you will learn something about it. This is like all these different tenses. You will have learned something about yourself on this step. So something will be revealed to you that was always the case, but that you didn't realize was the case. It was sort of a secret to you, but suddenly coming through this, having come through the harvest, you will realize something about yourself that you didn't really acknowledge before. It was always there, but you didn't really focus on it. And now you're like, hey, you know what? This is this thing about me that I've just realized. And maybe it's your ability to appreciate the moment when you're in it. The other thing this might, not necessarily entertainment purposes only, there might be something that is a surprise at your next step that maybe isn't the most pleasant thing. Like there might be a bit of something that might come up or be revealed that was sort of always the case, but that you didn't realize. And suddenly it's being revealed and it's like, oh no, I have to deal with this. And in order to deal with that, and in order to acknowledge the thing that you've just realized about yourself, and this might happen simultaneously or one or the other might happen. What's going to help you the most in that moment is Isa. So we have Isa, which is the rune of ice. This has to do with standstill, and it's the stillness through which clarity comes. So however we're going to read Pertho in this moment, whether it is you realizing something about yourself that you didn't know before, or whether it's something that maybe happens as a surprise that wasn't something that you particularly enjoy, or both, what is going to help you is giving yourself a moment to be still. I'm hoping it's the first one because I like that better. So basically just give yourself that moment to acknowledge, to appreciate, to let the clarity come through about this thing that you've just realized about yourself that you didn't know before, but was always the case. What isn't going to help you is you're going to be looking around for support. So sort of like validation. And this might not be forthcoming because it took you long enough to realize this about yourself. And it's not something that I think other people around you might have noticed to the same extent. I mean, everybody's wrapped up in their own lives. So it's one of those things where this is going to be maybe a very subtle thing for you that you've realized. And you might want to look to other people that you know and trust to validate this for you. But you don't need that. Like you recognize it. You have recognized this and you're giving yourself a moment of stillness to sort of integrate it and to let the clarity come through about it. So don't worry about if other people didn't notice this or if other people didn't think it was as important as you now do, because that'll drag you down if you're like looking for that outside validation. Try not to let that drag you down. Bring yourself back up to where you're like giving yourself the moment of stillness. It's like, I don't care if nobody else appreciates this. I appreciate it and it's me and I'm integrating it and it's really, really good. Your next step on the path line You know what? This is the only reading of the 4 that hasn't had Ingvaz in it. When I drew a rune to see what this reading would be about today, I drew Ingvaz. Ingvaz is the rune of Ing, another name for Frey, and that has to do with active creation. He's a fertility god. Oh, it's snowing again. Nice. Okay, so anyway, but that rune has shown up in all the readings except for this one, and I didn't think of that until I noticed this. But anyway, it's all good. The reading is under Ing's umbrella anyway. Your next step on the path line is you are going to let go of things that no longer serve you. I'm going to read this actually 3 ways. This is Othala reversed. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. This has to do with your solace, your sanctuary, etc. But when it's reversed, it has to do with letting go of things that no longer serve you. It has to do with finding home within, and it has to do with stepping outside of your comfort zone. All 3 of which you are going to be doing now that you've integrated this new aspect of yourself. Like first, you're going to just basically say, okay, this is who I am. This is something that I didn't realize that I am, and now I know that I am, and I have taken this moment to assimilate this. And now I'm going to look at my life and say, what doesn't support that? And whatever doesn't support that, I'm going to let go of it. I'm just going to gently thank it and let it go. So you're basically letting go of things that no longer serve you. You are also stepping outside of your comfort zone, and you are also looking within and sort of setting up a sense of home within yourself. What is going to help you the most? We have Uruz reversed. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health. Also stubbornness. We're going to get to that. But it's reversed on the helping line. So it's inner strength, inner health, and lifting up your hooves and not resisting. Because you might feel a bit of resistance to, because, we carry things with us and we just become used to them in our auric field or whatever, in our home state of being. And, we may feel a little bit reluctant to let go of it, even if it isn't helping us. So it's one of those things where, one of the things about it, you have your inner strength, that's always there, that's inherent. You have your inner sense of health, where you feel sane, that's going to be there. And just basically not resisting that, not resisting what you're doing, which is letting go of the things that are not serving you. And that's going to help you the most. What isn't going to help is we have Sovila, which is the rune of the sun. This has to do with source energy. And there may be some worries at this point of, you may have had things around you that you sort of considered, touch points to keep you energized. Anything that is actually giving you energy, anything that is actually energizing you and that is source energy, absolutely keep it around. It's there's no reason to throw out of things that are still serving you. If it's still serving you, keep it. No reason to get rid of it. If you have a teddy bear, yeah, it's not doing the housework, but it does give you a source of energy and happiness. And it's that lady is does it spark joy? Okay, keep it. So that's the kind of thing that we're talking about. You don't have to throw away things because society tells you. It's that doesn't help you. It's it helps me. I don't have to explain why. So if it's still helping you, you don't have to let go of it. If it's still something that gives you joy and energy, keep it. But you just, you're going to worry about source energy. You're going to worry about your energy levels. But you have inherent strength. You have deep inner strength. You have deep inner sense of sanity, which you know where to look for. And you are able to sort of lift up your hooves and not resist what you're doing. And that's what's going to help you the most in this step where you are letting go of the things that are not serving you. And your outcome of this reading is, and this is why I got so excited when I saw this, we have Vunyo, which is the rune of joy. As I said, it's does it spark joy? Here you are, joy. We had this. All of this is going to lead you to greater happiness and joy, which you already have to work with. You already carry this with you, this ability to appreciate when you are receiving a thing that you wished for. And this is just basically the path to not only restore you to that if you get away from it, if this is the negative read on this, but it's also to intensify the joy that you feel in these situations when you are accepting a wish that you had wished for, and now here it is in your hands. So that, card number 4, people, is your reading on what you have to work with. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.